Hey, it's Spence from LaunchFlows.com with your tip of the day. This is one that involves somebody who's selling, let's say, courses using Learndash, and you want to have the ability to offer upsells. Now, what would an upsell mean? Well, typically an upsell is defined as something that replaces the original product that somebody was intending to buy. And you can also have what's called an order bump. That is when you add something on. But the reason I want to bring up upsells is because oftentimes you'll have the ability for somebody to either buy a smaller course, like a sample, and move up to a bigger course, or you want them to instead subscribe to a membership where maybe they get all the courses. Either way is a very simple way of doing that using a variety of the built-in components of LaunchFlows. But the one I want to feature today is what's called our solo checkout option. The solo checkout option is available on a per product basis or for all of the products. And it basically does this. It automatically clears the cart and the checkout itself of any of the previous choices. Now, why is this useful? This is useful because it prevents somebody from having 2 or 3 things in the cart at the same time when you really wanted to limit them to just pick one of these. And when used in combination with one of our components, like the order bump component, it makes a very attractive radio button or checkbox way of displaying on the checkout itself or in the process of, step by step. Here, let me show you what I've got. I have 3 products I've set up. Small course for $25, a large course, which is an upsell, or a membership product, which is again an upsell choice because maybe you want to subscribe for $50 a month and get all of the courses. Now, these all can assign tags and give access to various products, or we can use the Learndash integration that also allows somebody to get access to courses when they buy. So let's just real quickly look inside of here, and I'll show you what that means. So here on the subscription option, we have 2 things. First of all, simple subscription, and in LaunchFlows, we're saying it's going to be available on the checkout. That's where we're offering these, and somebody will be taking a thank you if they buy it. We've also chosen individually the solo checkout option box. Now, this is also available if you were to do it globally. In other words, if you had a shop or a store that was selling lots of products that are very low price and you just want to do it, you can only buy one thing at a time. And you maybe even wanted to take advantage of our auto-click checkout, which means once you've got the person buying stuff and they have registered their card and they've already been logged in, they can just keep clicking buying, and it just happens automatically. So we have this global option, solo checkout for all products, but in this case, I still want to maintain the control of doing this on a per product basis. So I'm going to use the option here. I've also used the instant clean sales page option. So there's no customizing. I've just removed any of the distractions from the individual product page should somebody come there or arrive there and want to start the process from this particular product alone. Now in WPFusion, which I'm also using to connect to a CRM, I'm also applying a tag which will let me know what somebody has already bought. You can also set up some other criterion here with regard to what happens to limit the subscription time and so forth, but that's outside the scope. Let's look at how this would work in practice. Here I've set up basically a regular WooCommerce checkout page using LaunchFlows, and I've rearranged the components into something that resembles what I want. I've not done a lot of customizing, but you'll notice it's a very efficient layout. Here's what I want you to notice though. In practice, I've added the small course. This could be by way of sending the person to the page with the direct checkout link, or just sending them to this page and then adding some words that say, pick one of these. Watch what happens when I choose one of the other options, like the upsell to a large course. Notice that it swaps out the small course automatically. And same if I chose the membership product subscription, it'll also change it here. Now the neat thing about this is when they buy one or the more of these, either the tag or the Learndash WooCommerce connector would give them enrollment in the course. So they're not only buying the specific product, but they're also getting a really easy way to choose amongst your various courses. Now, the other thing that's interesting is when you look at the setup, you have the parameters just using these components where you can say each of the products, right? 55406, 08, 10. You can also say whether you want to have the round or the checkbox format. And this gives you a lot of design options. Let's do check. Actually, we do square. You'll see here if we update this, You have the design options where you can add in through Gutenberg or your other page builders, whatever things you want to do to give the person the impression of what it is they're buying. So for example, typically checkboxes means you're going to add multiple things. If you were to disable the solo checkout, you would be able to add these things all together. So let me show you how that might look. If I change this from round to square, and then I change the product options so that they're no longer solo checkout. So here I'm going to change the membership product, and then I'm going to change the other two products as well real quick. You'll see that I'll be able to add all or any of them instead of having the solo checkout kick out the ones that I'm not using. So let's edit real quick the large course. And finally, let's do it with the small course. And this one actually wasn't on anyway, which is neat. Okay, so now let's see how this affects our checkout. Now I'll be able to choose to add any or all of these. And this is more akin to a order bump situation. Maybe I'm going to send somebody to this checkout with an existing product, or I'll let them shop from my existing array in the normal WooCommerce shop area. But watch, now I can add more than one thing to the checkout, and it's not going to kick out the other choices, right? In fact, I can add all three. So that's a quick rundown on how you can use LaunchFlows WooCommerce, our solo checkout option, and our order bump component to make a really interesting way to present stuff. And this can happen either on the checkout page, on the product pages themselves, or you can make a decorative step out of any page or post where you can offer this on its own. You can also use this in conjunction with our upsell component, which takes the same data but presents it in a more upsell fashion with a large image, a button, and in fact, let me just change it here. Let's change out the bump and let's do the upsell component instead on this. So we're going to say insert before, and we're going to type upsell, and we'll just use this instant upsell option, which by the way can be done manually as well with our other components, but let's just show you what that looks like. And refresh the page, and you'll see now we'll have a more interestingly styled option that will scale nicely, where I have the product image, the title, the price, yes I want it, no thanks. This is Spence from LaunchFlows. I'll see you on the next video.